Hello. Happy Saturday. I hope that all of you are having a fun Saturday right now. It's hard to believe that it's December, the last month of 2021. Honestly, 2021 has not really been a good year for me. Last year, 2020, was better in a lot of ways. And I've been in Florida now for a month and a half, here at my parents' house. My parents have been back in town now for 3 weeks. So far, it hasn't been that bad. Pretty good, actually. But my parents are really concerned about COVID. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I said it. Anyway, yeah, they're concerned about, everything that's going on. They watch a lot of the news. And I'm not talking grassroots news, I'm talking the mainstream stuff, where they're basically, giving one narrative and one biased opinion of how things are going in the world. But everyone in my immediate family has had the jab. I'm the only one who hasn't. I'm not totally against it, but I'm not quite sold on the idea that, this shot is the end all be all to the pandemic. Because that's not the case, because they're constantly coming out with new versions of it. And, there's a lot of unanswered questions. And in time, things will reveal themselves. And, it's better to wait sometimes before you make such a big decision such as this. And this is my personal opinion, but for me, I think it's better that I wait and not make, a decision that could affect my health for the rest of my life. Because there's a lot that we still don't know, and it's going to take time for, things to reveal themselves for what they really are. I also believe that we should have a say as to what goes into our bodies, not some authoritarian government that has proven on many occasions that it cares nothing about our health. I'm not shaming those who have gotten it. If you want to get it, then by all means, go do it. It should be a personal choice. But enough about that. I'm really trying to get into the Christmas spirit, but I find it hard being here in Florida versus Colorado. We had some cool weather since I've been here. They said that this was one of the coolest Novembers that we just had here on record. The lowest temperature that we had here, I think, was around 34 degrees, and that's not unusual in this part of Florida. But, I miss the snow, and I miss that first snow in Colorado that usually comes in October. This year I wasn't around for it. This will be the first Christmas that I've spent here in Florida with my family since 2018. So it's been 3 whole years since that time. The other morning, yesterday, I woke up to Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time. It was playing on my clock radio that I still use. I've had it since I was 12. And instead of reaching for the snooze button like I usually do, I listened to the whole song. And I said to myself, today is going to be a great day. And yesterday wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something else. Before I came back to Florida to live here at my parents', the agreement was that I take a COVID test once a week, which I've been doing. I just took I think it's my third test. They're free, they're not charging anything for them here at CVS, but I usually go on Thursday. Last week I did Friday because of the holiday, and today I did Saturday, which was a big mistake. I was waiting in line for a long time, over half an hour. And there was one car in front of me at first, and they were taking a while. And once I got to the drive-through window, I was waiting there for several minutes, which was a little annoying, but I was patient. I didn't get upset because I understand that they're short-staffed. But from now on, I'm definitely going during the week instead of on the weekends. But anyway, let's talk more about Christmas because 'tis the season, right? Right. The other night I watched a Lifetime movie called Miracle in Motor City, starring Smokey Robinson, Motown legend Smokey Robinson. Tia Mowry was in it, and one of the ladies who was on the last season of Good Witch, she played a lesbian character on Good Witch on the last season of it. But anyway, she was in the movie also. I can't think of her name right now. Maybe I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. I don't want to leave her out. Let's see here. Because I follow her on Instagram. Just have to go back to it here. Okay. Yeah, her name is Kayana Teresa, it looks like. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. But yeah, I think she's a Canadian actress. And so far, I like her work. I think she's a good actress. And she's nice looking too. But there are some things that I do miss about Colorado. Like I said, I miss having all four seasons. Right now we would be experiencing late fall, early winter, but not the case here in Florida. It's more like early fall or springtime here. And we're decorating our tree tomorrow, so that will be fun. My mother, she already put up some of the Christmas decorations around the house, so it's beginning to feel more like Christmas and look a lot like Christmas, but I'm still not quite in the spirit just yet. But it's Christmas time, right? Even when it's 70 degrees outside. I miss my favorite grocery store, Natural Grocers. I would shop there quite often. It was up the street from where I lived in Colorado, but here in Florida, or at least in this area where I live, there isn't one. And it's harder to find organic produce here. You can find it, there's a Whole Foods. It's a little further out from where I currently live right now. And at Publix, it's kind of expensive there. And Sprouts has some too, but even there, it's hit or miss with that. And I miss going on walks in Colorado. There was an area where I would go quite often, and you had like a lake there with ducks and all, but here we kind of had that in some places here, but mainly I just go to the track that's not too far from here, and I'll go there and, you know, get my exercise in and be alone in my thoughts. But I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here in Florida. There are a lot of things that I would like to do while I'm here before I move on to the next phase of my life, whenever and wherever that may be. I would like to have surgery next year. I would also like to start getting electrolysis again. It's been a couple months since more like 3 months now since the last time I had it. And it's mainly in this area up here where I am still growing a little bit of hair. And, that's, hard to deal with at times. I don't like it. And truth be told, I can't afford it right now. It seems to be more expensive here than in Colorado. But every day I do a little bit to take care of myself and my mental health, which is really important. I usually start my mornings off with 15 to 20 minutes of yoga and 10 minutes of meditation. I've been doing that now these last few weeks, and it seems to be working out pretty well. I feel much better throughout the day. I did have an episode my first week, or the first week that my parents came back in the town. I gave up coffee for almost 2 weeks because I get acid reflux from time to time whenever I'm eating or right after I take my medication. So I decided to give up coffee for 2 weeks because I got sick one Friday. And, with all that, was on my head, I was thinking about, and I got sick, and, I just, you know, started crying, and I felt really bad. There was this huge wave of emotion that came over me that evening, and I got through it okay. I haven't, had anything like that happen since that time, but that's what we trans women who are on hormones, a lot of us deal with that. Even still, I'm more than 3 years on hormones now, and on occasion, I might feel a certain way or have certain emotions that I, have to manage. I think it's important that I share these things with you because I'm not a perfect person. On social media, a lot of us try to portray our lives as being perfect and that we have everything or that we have it all together. But in reality, most of us don't. We're faking it. And I've never been good at faking it. So, I try to live as authentically as possible. That's why I named my podcast Authentically Us, which I haven't had much time to work on lately, unfortunately. But I am working on an episode right now. I recorded it back in August. I just, with all that's been going on, it's been tough to give it my undivided attention where I can finish the episode and release it. But fingers crossed, I'll have that out in the near future. And I also would like to have a guest on my next show. I reached out to her, I think a couple months ago. So hopefully she's still interested and we can do a show together for you. That would be nice. The theme will be the 90s because the first episode, the one that I'm currently working on, the theme there is the 80s because, I had that milestone birthday earlier this year and I was highlighting, all 4 decades. Yeah, I am 40 years old for those of you who don't know, but, I was highlighting the last 4 decades of my life and, just kind of reminiscing, taking a trip down memory lane and how things were like for me growing up during that time. But like most of us, I'm still a work in progress. I need to work on myself and try to be the best version of myself that I know how to be because I don't think you can be happy, truly happy, living a life as being something that you're not or someone that you're not. So, for those of you who do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. To all a good day and God bless. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention, I'll share this with you too. My former landlord back in Denver really did me dirty. He never refunded my security deposit, and now he's completely ignoring me. So, what I'll have to do, maybe I'll have to write a letter and tell him that I'm going to report him to the IRS if he does not refund my security deposit. Because I left the place in immaculate condition. You saw the video that I posted on Instagram. Everything was in place and in perfect order when I left. So for him to not do right by me after I've done right by him, for over a year is wrong. So I will be taking care of that soon.